A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Tuesday, April 12th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. A 72-year-old grandmother and her 3-year-old grandson were killed Monday when they were struck by a garbage truck in the eastern part of the town of Poughkeepsie. The incident occurred shortly after 1 p.m. in the vicinity of Mary Avenue and Stanley Street. Initial reports indicated the child, later identified as a 3-year-old boy, died at the scene, and his grandmother had been airlifted to Westchester Medical Center with serious injuries. She later succumbed to those injuries in the hospital. A 33-year-old Halstead, Pennsylvania woman pled guilty in Orange County Court on Monday to selling methamphetamine in western Orange County. District Attorney David Hoovler says Ashley Evans faces 7 to 10 years in state prison and 2 years of post-release supervision when sentenced in June.
She was looking to set up a business in Port Jervis because they were aware of New York's bail reform and some of our lax drug laws as compared to Pennsylvania, which is much more strict. So they came to Port Jervis and started to set up business, and we were lucky we were able to infiltrate their organization with undercover officers and make multiple large-scale purchases leading to her arrest and her conviction.
During the 5-month investigation, police learned Evans sold 275 grams of crystal meth and that she possessed another 200 grams. The time is now for the third lane to be added to New York Route 17 from Harriman to the Monticello area. Orange County Partnership President Maureen Hallahan says her comments come following adoption of the state budget, which allocates $1 billion as part of a 5-year transportation capital plan that will include the third lane and other improvements to transition the highway to Interstate 86 status. Hallahan is one of the leaders of the ad hoc group 17 Forward 86.
It's a phenomenal economic development project when you think in terms of the fact that we're going to alleviate traffic and open up this whole corridor that goes right up straight to Binghamton. And it's also a safety. It just makes sense. We have more and more traffic on the roads.
The State Department of Transportation issued a final planning and environmental linkages study for the Route 17 corridor last November that identified the need for the additional travel lane. More news in just a moment.
Galleria at Crystal Run is hosting a job fair event Thursday, April 14th from 11 to 3 in Center Court. Employers from a variety of industries such as Legoland New York, Resorts World Catskills, Amazon, Keller Williams, 110 Grill, DSW, Target, and many more will be in attendance looking for candidates at all skill levels. This is a free event for all job seekers to attend, so make sure to bring those resumes and dress for your success. If interested in participating in the Get Hired Job Fair event Thursday, April 14th, contact the Galleria at Crystal Run or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
A 22-year-old Port Jervis man pled guilty in Orange County Court on Monday to criminal possession of a weapon and reckless endangerment for firing several gunshots into a residence on Hammond Street in Port Jervis, narrowly missing occupants inside. When Christopher Cecina is sentenced in May, the district attorney's office will recommend he serve 8 years in state prison and 5 years of post-release supervision. Cecina fired the shots, targeting several residents in the house who had physically assaulted him earlier. It's believed the shooting was in retaliation for the earlier assault. In June of last year, the Dutchess County Legislature authorized using $12.5 million of Federal American Rescue Plan money for improvements at Dutchess Stadium, a county park that houses the Hudson Valley Renegades. At the time, the Democratic lawmakers voted against the plan. County Executive Mark Molinaro says that because of inflation, the stadium project's being put on hold.
We are reallocating $9.5 million of our ARP dollars away from our park project, and we will dedicate it entirely to housing availability. And then we will propose an additional $4 million on top of that of Dutchess County resources to commit $13 million to housing availability.
Democratic lawmakers claim that Molinaro's reversal in policy is because he's running for Congress and is trying to respond to recent criticism about the stadium funding plan. The fire that gutted a vacant building at 11 South Miller Street in the city of Newburgh was caused by squatters, city officials say. Several area fire departments assisted the city in extinguishing the blaze that broke out before 7 on Saturday morning. City Manager Todd Venning says the cause has been determined.
The city's fire investigators determined the cause of fire to be a candle, which was being used by a squatter in 11 South Miller Street, who had self-evacuated the building. Code compliance notified the property owner to properly board and secure the building.
Meanwhile, the former Gully's restaurant and bar on the Newburgh waterfront caught fire early this morning. The facility on an old barge docked at the Newburgh waterfront at Water and Washington Streets was called in around 3:30 a.m. The two-alarm blaze brought out firefighters from neighboring communities in Orange and Dutchess counties. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.